evening, Douglas. Good evening, everyone. Here we are,
Evening,
Show Me the
Craig.
Money, Season 12, Week 1 in the bag. Interesting week.
Done and dusted. Disappointing week in some respects, but it's week 1. Doesn't really matter. Normally start slow. Used to it.
Well, it matters just a little bit, does it not? But hey ho, I'm sure we'll see that when we get there. We'll see where your falterings lay as you
Absolutely.
slip to 0-1.
So, enjoyable week of NFL. Glad to be back.
It's super to be back, isn't it? And it's, it literally started with controversy from the get-go, didn't it? With the infamous spit. And just can't,
Completely.
NFL's back, and
I,
that's...
I thought that was elite from Dak Prescott. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he knew that he was winding Jalen Carter up, and he got exactly what he wanted. And you know what? That's sport.
But at the end of the day, Jalen Carter's got to not give him what he's looking for. Of course, he's winding him up, but that's part and parcel of this game. They're not there to have to trade niceties. They're just about to try and take each other's heads off. So, yeah, I think Jalen Carter lost the plot, and that was stupid on his behalf. And the fact that he got a 1-game ban for it, and that was the game, was kind of comical in the end. But
Well, I tell you, I pity Patrick Mahomes this week because I think he'll be itching to do well.
Well, it's definitely you would think so, wouldn't you? He's certainly got stuff to make up for, but at least they won the game anyway, and they got the win from it. But it's great to be back, and the ups and downs, as I was saying in the opening ball, if you drafted receiver, if you had a couple of receiver keepers, then the week did not go well for you. Whereas if you were keeping the backs and if you went back heavy, chances are you've won your tie this week.
Absolutely, especially in this league with the standard scoring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it is quite noticeable the difference. I never used to kind of think it was too bad, but yeah, year on year, I'm starting to notice it a little bit more, and probably trying to draft accordingly.
Yeah, I do think the running backs are essential. It's at the end of the day, it comes down to touches. If a wide receiver's getting 10 receptions, then he's going to be going well anyway in this because he's getting the yardage out of that as well. But you need that, a running back can get 20 touches a game easy. CMC might get 50 this weekend, so it's you got to go with the volume.
We've got Mac Jones. We're fine. Honestly, I don't know what the panic is.
But it was an interesting week in there. Let's get into the game, shall we? Are you in the backup, Johnny, with the screens? Let's hit us up with. Well, we start off in your division then, Johnny. Let's start off with your game, Johnny. Let's go for the Madhouse G-Men against the Eskimo Brothers for an 87-75 win for Sean. Now, Johnny, I think we cursed you a little bit last week because we both agreed that your team looked very strong, and obviously it's come out with a loss. But I don't think it's all that bad. Gibbs got 10 catches. In any other league, that would have been enough probably to win this game, but it's not because you don't get anything for catches, and he only got 31 yards out of his 10 catches. And Pickens didn't really do really well, and Pacheco's a wee bit of a worry. But yeah, Sean's came out the blocks flying for a change. He's Ashton Jenkins surely better to come. He must be over the moon with Etienne now that Bigsby's moved on. And DJ Moore's got better to come, and he's had the win out of it, so he must be a happy camper at the moment.
Absolutely. He's obviously relying on the Bears and the Jags. In fact, the Raiders. He's really invested in 3 teams there. When you look at it, he's got 2 from each of them.
Very much has. He's got one on the bench from the Raiders as well. He's got Besh although he's Chuck Besh now, I can see. But he's very reliant on 3 teams, isn't he?
Good. Travis Etienne has had a great week. Looks like he's in the box seat. I'm kind of not sure about his durability over the season for for following that right through the winter. But yeah, and Johnny's team's fine. The only worry would be, I guess, maybe Pacheco, because you just the chief, and you just don't know what Andy Reid's going to do. He's well capable of looking at other backs as well, but he still got 25 yards for his 5 carries. I mean, just didn't get enough carries. They put
Yeah,
Brashad
I think
on the second touch and the second snap of the match, which was weird for a kind of late round rookie, but that's Andy Reid. But yeah, Johnny's fine.
Yeah, I think Pacheco will be okay in the long run as well. I think he'll certainly score points, but he made a big move in agency this week, Johnny. He went
He
all in.
did.
He pumped it all in on Rashid Rice for the back end, so he's obviously got his eye on the second half of the season straight off the bat.
I mean, I went in for him. I think I was maybe second or third in the fab, and I went in about 80 odd, thinking no guarantees I get him at that, but I should be in and about it. But Johnny obviously blew me out of the water. But you've got to shoot to win, and there's not a lot of waivers at the minute. I know things will change and other people will get injured and whatever else, but I mean, Rice is elite, so you've got to shoot to win. So fair play to him. He's taking the shot.
Yeah, absolutely he has. So the next one we're going to Johnny then is Levy on a prayer and sacked in the morning. We've got the rookie Aaron and getting his ass handed to him by our regular season champ, who was the week one champ, the highest score of the week.
It's like clockwork. I mean, it's the regular season, so here comes Michael, uh, cracking score 109 points, going to win you your match most weeks in this league, and he did that with Tyrone Tracy, Tyreek Hill doing sweet FA really. But
Maybe missing a few.
Justin Herbert and Zay Flowers, in this league, you get two really good scores like that, and you could creep into the hundreds off the back of that. Okay, and that's what you got.
Absolutely.
So happy days,
Two
Aaron.
touchdowns from Williams. Yeah, Aaron's got a running back problem here, if you ask me. I mean, Jackson's
Uh,
going to do him proud, but he's
Brees,
got no
Brees
running
Hall
back
looked all
cover.
right.
Ford is a bust for me, and it's Ingram's a wee bit of a worry. Yeah, what to do? I think. I mean, he's got Pittman on the
Pittman
bench.
looked
He's
good.
got Goods on the bench, and he's got
Yeah,
Hunter on the bench, all playable, But yeah,
you
he's
need
got a
you
wee bit
need.
of a running back issue.
Well, yeah, Brees Hall looked pretty good though.
Brees Hall
It,
did look very good, didn't he? But Montgomery will get his touches. He should be fine. We're just
like
up against a legit defense, I think. But
Yeah, he needs Montgomery to
it's
get touchdowns. If Montgomery does get his touchdowns, he'll be right in their competitor.
Yeah, no, that's but it's a necessity, and Ford's a goner, so he's going to have to be keeping an eye on agency, if you ask me, and getting another running back in there when someone goes down injured that might
Yeah,
be
but
relevant again.
he's got three receivers he can play every week, and
Yeah, absolutely. He's got three receivers for sure. But yeah, it's a bit of a bit of a slow start for him. But yeah, when you run into the highest score of the week, there's not much you can do about it. And 73 points wasn't a disaster. It would have beaten many teams. So yeah, so it's Michael and Sean up at the top of the West. If we go into the East now, Johnny, we'll hit the East. And if let's go and have a look at the almost upset of the week with the Coping Badly Jets and Batman's Bibbies, or Team Ramondo as they're known because it's not been changed yet. But well, Doug, this one was
well,
close, wasn't it?
let's give Ray his flowers, as they say. Uh, he obviously had probably arguably the weirdest draft in Show Me the Money history, but he scored 77 points. That's going to win you matches some weeks in this league. Uh, he's put out a team that isn't he? I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to win him the title, but Puka Nakua, Christian McCaffrey, and Mayfield are going to get you points
Chesterfield.
every week.
100%, and those three players in themselves will score you enough points some weeks to win games. And if they can hang on in there and Mixon comes back for the second half of the season, Ayuk comes back for the second half of the season, it's not completely out of the realms of possibility that, he'll be sniffing about come there. It's not the disaster that it looked after draft day, that's for sure.
No, but he
He's got
does.
opportunity.
He's got the Roshan Johnson and your lad Wilson at Green Bay. He's going to have to do something with them for sure.
Of course.
Otherwise,
Like,
he's not going to get that 77 points is probably about his ceiling ish.
yeah, probably.
Uh,
Well, I mean, McCaffrey could go better, Puka's going to go better than that. Obviously, Mayfield had a good score and stuff, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the 77, 80, that's where he's going to be. But that'll win you weeks, it'll win you a few weeks. As for Mark, I mean, Mark must have had the sweat on Sunday. I think I lost this one. I don't know where you come back from that. But he got over the
100%.
line. He done it in the end. I mean, Burrow and Higgins, the Burrow and Higgins stack, that's going to do him wonders in some weeks of the season. So they didn't fire and he still won the game. That's got to be a big positive.
Oh, completely. He's just going to have to work out what to do with his flex spot because I don't know that Cooper Cup's going to be up to too much. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba got the most ridiculous volume share, and he's not going to get that every week, but it still shows you what the Seahawks are thinking. So does he risk putting QJ in? QJ is a best
I
ball
think
player.
you got it.
He's
I
a
think you
best
got
ball
to
player.
put Hugh in, though. Very much so, but they say Harbaugh's shown that he trusts Herbert to go to there and throw them, and he is a downfield target. There's no getting away from it. It's a busy,
Absolutely.
it's a busy receiver room, but if they're going to throw it as much as that, then I can see him getting some action. As you say, there's going to be weeks he does nothing, but he's going to have his weeks, so he's definitely an option. I would be looking to matchups for him.
What he has kind of wasted, he's wasted a pick and Bo Nix because he's already dropped him agency and brought in Penix. So in that middle round, he could have given himself another running back or a receiver, but touch of the groaties about
Yeah,
that one, you know.
well, you know what? You know my feelings with taking the extra quarterbacks that aren't needed. But listen, he's off to a 1-0 start, and we know Mark turns water into wine often, so he'll be delighted to be 1-0. And
Absolutely.
Ray doesn't look as bad as all that after everything. Ray doesn't look as bad as all that. And then we've got Joe and Graham played Farts Flying Eagles and Parton Bears, whose team they're Knights at the moment. But yeah, good win for Joe. Good start to the season. Graham's, always very strong, and it was tight, very close.
Very tight. Overturned the odds as well. Overturned AJ Brown and Amon Rassent Brown doing sweet FA as well. But again, couple of you think, how did he get to 89? When you look down that list, but it's the two good scores. It's Cook and Mahomes again. But there's not a
Yeah, I
lot
mean
else there
that's
really.
no, it's been nothing. I mean, AJ Brown aside, everybody else scored. Getting 20 points from your kicker and your D always helps out.
Yeah,
Because a lot of
yeah.
the times you don't get that many down there. Tillman done well for Amon-Ra didn't obviously, and so I mean, this tie at the end of the day, it came down to Jones against Swift in the final game because it must have been about even before those two came out because he's won by 5 points and Jones
Yeah.
beat Swift by 6 points, so it must have been
So that
very
was it.
tight. And it's
Absolutely. But I mean, Graham's team's solid as. Um,
yeah, I mean it's fine.
it's
I don't see any issues with it. Barkley's going to have better weeks than that. Hurts seems to be running the touchdowns in again. That's absolutely fine. Ridley will be just fine once he gets, once Ward gets going. I mean, there's nothing that no one get injured either. He's got options on the bench. That's the thing. He's
well,
got Bill down there. Bill
he,
looks
he
good.
just puts Bill in for Nick Chubb and off he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean Joe's team as well. I mean, I'd be a little bit worried about my Swift and my Browns. Amon Ra he'll score points and stuff, but I see regression from last year. And
I,
AJ
d-
Brown, I'm actually really quite worried about AJ Brown and Smith. and I've drafted them both in places, but I'm worried about them this year. I just think they are going to run the ball to death again, and bringing in Tank Bigsby doesn't, it's, put me off that train of thought.
I think a lot of it maybe boils down to if Barkley stays fit. If Barkley has any
Yeah,
downtime, different story. But yeah, he got 18 carries and he got 4 or 5 receptions, so it's 20 odd touches for Barkley. It's like the same old, same old. And Dallas Goddard, I don't like. You know me, I like Dallas Goddard. Uh, they like throwing the ball to him. He was 7 out of 7. I think he might be injured though. Uh, but
yeah,
he
he
got
is. He's hurt. He's on the fence as to whether he's going to be playing or not
But he
this
got
week.
he got 7 looks and he got 7 catches. So that really eats into your receivers.
And it does, especially for a running team. It's if you look at Baltimore, it's why I'm cold on. Kind of I've went off Bateman, Mark Andrews. Just no point because they're a running team, and Lamar's got one target, and that one target say Flowers. So and what Andrews at least red zone target and in the end zone, but he's not now because I've got Hopkins for that now. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Andrews was crap against Buffalo last season, and it was the same again this season. I would be patient on Andrews. Jackson loves him in the red zone, and the second half of last season, he kept going to him. I don't see that that's going to change.
I'm not sure. I think it's game over there. But that's the kind of same situation, isn't it, for the Philadelphia wide receivers? They're a lot better than who we're talking about Baltimore. But yeah, I'm worried for them. They will have big weeks, but I feel like there's going to be weeks where they're going to let you down massively. And certainly week one was one of them for
Totally, but there's also, I mean,
Joe there. But he still won the game, so he
they're
can't
off the back.
complain.
They're off the back of winning a Super Bowl. It does like these guys won't get going early in the season. They'll come alive at some point because they're too good not to. But
Yeah, that's true.
last season was a long, tiring season for them. It can take them a wee bit to get over that, but they will. They will. They're too good.
I'm sure. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will. And it's we're into the South Division now, and we've got you can choose, Johnny, if we go to the boys are back in town against straight out of Hampton, or whether we're going to have a
No,
look at the Bluetown Patriots against Kirkwall Raiders first. So we're in the Kirkwall Raiders and the Bluetown. So
I
this is
mean,
the lowest scoring win of the week with Chris crawling across the line with 67 points, beating Allen only 64 points. So it was a tight one. It went all the way. But yeah,
how's your luck? How's
not
your
great
luck
scoring.
winning with 67 points? I mean, you blinking heck because he's gonna have plenty of weeks when he scores well. Probably will lose, but winning with 67 points is the stuff of dreams in this league.
It really is. It's a massive win for Chris right off the bat. And as I say, 1-0 puts you in a good position. It kind of gives you a free shot at week two. If you go 1-1, then it's just as you were. And if you go 2-0, it's oh, here we go. So yeah, it's a massive win for him. And he had Goff and Williams. The Goff Williams stack there. That's obviously not went well for him week one, but
No, and
there's going
it's
to be
like
weeks where that takes off.
there's a few quarterback owners probably mildly nervous after week one, and Jared Goff owners will be one of them, I suppose, because Detroit, it was Green Bay, etc., etc. But I don't know. I don't Detroit. mm. And I've always liked Goff. I've picked him year after year for the last 3 years, and I do like him. But there's plenty of other pocket passers that were going after him that probably will do just as good. So yeah, we'll see. All
Yeah, I
those
mean, I had
sacks
Goff.
were a bit worrying.
Well, it was Goff who was my quarterback last year in my title run. So, yeah, I mean, I don't. He'll have his big weeks. There'll be weeks where he has 3, 4, 5 touchdown throws. So I wouldn't be worried about Goff in any way whatsoever. And Jefferson, obviously, he'll just get better and better as McCarthy settles in. Henderson's going to get better and better as the season goes. Pearsall's about all the Niners have got to throw to at the moment, so surely he's going to go well. And he's also got Hollywood Brown and Mason on the bench, so he's got options to go to, Chris, as well. Both done very well in week one, and Hollywood's kind of out there. Even if Worthy's playing, he's not fully fit. So you would think that Brown's going to be as involved going forward as he was in week one.
Completely. His biggest well, maybe not. His team maybe does pick itself, but he's certainly going to have he's certainly going to have to think about it some weeks. There's good depth there, and Chris Godwin
Yeah.
will come back at some point as well. And Godwin was shit hot the start of last season.
He was, yeah, but he's coming back from injury. I think Booker will be well and truly settled in by then, and Godwin might. He's a good player though. As for Allen, it's a 3 point
Yeah,
loss, only 64 points is a bigger loss, so the bigger worry. But Prescott will have better weeks. The Prescott Lamb stack will have much better reach, you would imagine. And of course, Drake London, it looks like he might be fit now after all, eh?
I think he's going to be okay. He's got a young team. He's got three or four rookies there. Jackson Smith and Jigba's still young, although he had a super week. He looks like he's getting everything there. But
Yeah, he does.
yeah, RJ Harvey. I mean, 6 carries, 70 yards. It's a lot, but
One of them
Dobbins is.
was a 50-yard run, though.
Yeah,
There was a
exactly.
50-yard burst.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's another roster that's not going to embarrass itself. That's for sure. Uh,
Waiting on the bench as well. It's been a good week for him too. He might be involved more than Alan initially thought when he picked him up there. And of course,
yeah.
the Bills did. I mean, the Bills D conceded 40 and still only got 0 points. So that's got to
I
be a
don't think that, I don't think the
plus of
Bills.
some sort.
I don't think the Bills D's all that this season. I think they've got injury problems. Uh, I don't know how serious or how long term they are, but yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to have to score a lot of points this season, which I'm sure he will. To be fair.
Absolutely no. It's if week one's getting to go by, and I know it was the Ravens and all that, but yeah, it didn't look solid. That's for sure. And Jair Alexander at cornerback. I'm quite happy that that's the case, shall we
Your
say?
favourite? Yeah, your favourite.
So yeah, but
Right.
a great one for Chris, and Alan's obviously got some work to do, and we'll see who they're playing next week later on. Now, here we go. Boys are back in town, 82. Lowest score of the week, 55 for our Graham's currently
Listen,
sunning himself in Greece.
Craig, I'm old enough to remember when Graham used to be all right in fantasy NFL. I mean, oh my God.
I mean,
He's
Josh
abs-
Allen almost beat him on his own.
he's absolutely stunk the room out. So he's he's drafted at third spot once again because he's perennially been rubbish, and he comes out and he gets 55 points.
I mean, in his defence, it was about Stroud he's already dumped Stroud. I mean he's making his moves. He's certainly given it the role. He's now going to be playing the quarterback lottery, the agency lottery, because he's dropped Stroud and brought in Rodgers. And he's went, to be fair to him, he's Kittle's gone. He's lost Kittle to IR, so he has went and brought Fannin in, and he paid for him as well to get him.
Aye,
So
good move.
I don't think that's a bad move in any way whatsoever. But he had to as well because he didn't have one on the bench. And when you look on his bench, you worry about it a bit, don't you? I mean, when on a guy,
Why is he? Why is he going to Rogers? Like,
yeah, week one, I
would
mean,
you?
Rogers pulled out this week, but Rogers done well. That Jets defense is decent, and
Aye,
Rogers done well.
but this can't believe I'm saying this. Would you not go to Danny Dimes before Aaron Rodgers?
Uh, I mean, maybe, because you've got the
Because he
legs
runs.
aspect of Danny Dimes as well.
He, ran,
Yeah,
he,
I
ran,
mean,
he ran
maybe.
it. He ran in 2 touchdowns. He's going to. That's what he does. So I mean, I'm looking at him
Well,
thinking I should have him myself.
It's certainly he's went with Aaron Rodgers, so that's what looks like that's who he's rolling with for this week, and I'm sure he's going to play the lottery game with the quarterback now and switch it up every week. And Pittsburgh are at home this week, so maybe he's looking at that and thinking, yeah, he's going to come out and make his point in Pittsburgh after an away start.
Yeah,
So, you know,
quite possibly, quite possibly. But I mean, it's a stinking start. I mean,
it's a stinking start. I mean, Hampton's going to obviously get better as the season goes on. Jacobs will do better than 13 points most weeks. Smith, as you say, you just said it, they should be fine. You know, I didn't say, well, should be fine, you know, once they get going a little bit. Waddle's obviously a worry as well, but it's more the bench that's a worry for me. And But as for Ross must be over the moon. I mean, what's he going to be saying?
well, he's drafted four QBs, and look at his team. Looks, I mean, the running back situation's a little bit sketchy, but Josh Allen on his own is going to keep him in most matches. Uh,
He doesn't need to
Nico
find much behind him, that's for sure.
Nico Collins will get better. He's maybe a bit thin right enough.
I
And
mean,
the
yeah, he's
bench, it's
thin,
the
he's
running
thin, he's thin,
backs.
thin.
It's the running backs. He's need to work out what he's going to do there if he's to be a season long threat. Because Eckler's Eckler will have the odd week, but he's not getting a huge amount of volume. And Stevenson will, Travian Henderson will take over from him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a long old season for Ross still, but you know what a start he's made to it, and we've seen it happen time and time again. It's usually Martin that does it, but there's always a roster that you look at and you think,
Yeah,
"Geez, that what's that?" And it's like 6-2, 7-3, stuff like that. You know, and you're like, "How is that?" So that might be Ross's year. He might pick up the right guys at the right time and plug them in, and who knows? It might be just
he's
his week.
not. He's not going to have the luxury of playing Graham every week, though.
Well, that's true. He does get to do it one more time. You've got to remember that it's divisional play. So
I mean,
we'll head into the North now, the infamous North, where six of the 11 titles reside, and the Factory of Sadness, owning four of said titles, got off to another very good start. Now we were all praising Grote and his drafting prowess this year, and the fact that he drafted well, and he did do. But the start's not what he was looking for, I wouldn't imagine.
no. Well, look. I mean, Sean fished about with me to. He flashed Derek Henry at me, but he was looking for Chase Brown and Tony Pollard. So I just said, nah, can't do that
Yeah.
because I need two rather than one. And off he went to knocking Grote's door and got success. But I mean, he's won the tie with Fields and Henry. I mean, he's got better to come. He's got Chase and Evans, that are going to do better. He's obviously gone and don't know if he's sorted out his round back problem, but he's certainly got another one. And Grote's done that after just before he comes and plays you and I. So maybe he's
You
not
know,
daft in what he's done.
well, I mean, I don't think, I think, I mean, Walker is, he gets hurt a lot. And I get him letting Walker go because he didn't look that great, and Charbonnet did, which is the big thing. And if he's going to take more, I think neither of them are, I think both of them are going to hurt each other too much for fantasy. I don't think there's going to be enough there to support both of them. So I think they're going to be perennial 5 point scorers, 6 point scorers, and you're begging on a touchdown is how those two end up. So I don't blame him for chucking him away, and he's getting rid of Coleman, who
Maybe, but Seattle will run the ball. That's just what McDonald wants to do. I think that as the season goes on, might prove that the 49ers D is slightly better than we maybe thought it was going to be. So I think they'll be in plenty of positions where they're running it quite a lot and they're running it okay. If Walker's fit, I think you'll get points, but it's who gets the touchdowns because you kind of need the touchdowns in this league.
you need the touchdowns.
So it's if Charbonnet's getting the red zone work, then that is a problem. If Walker's just the 20 to the 20, so he
And
needs
he's
to be patient and get Caleb Johnson. Hope that Caleb Johnson muscles his way in, which there's a fair chance he will. He's that talented, but yeah, Rogers. If Rogers doesn't think he's getting the pass pro from him, Rogers will get what he wants. I would imagine.
I do think we'll see Caleb Johnson for the end. I wouldn't be giving up on him yet. I wouldn't be starting him as yet. But I mean, I think that Grote's done very well getting Samson out of that because I think he's going to be really good. And I know Judkins is going to come in and take a lot of it. But I think between the two, by the time he comes in, Samson's had a couple of games. I think he's going to be very good, and I think Roy's done quite well out of that trade, getting Samson. I think Coleman will do really well for Sean, no, but I'm hoping that this week he does better than next. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I think Coleman's a good pick up for him, and of course he's got his 6th round draft pick off him as well. So for an 8th, so that's moving up
Absolutely. The,
two
the
spots.
interesting one's Trey Benson, because he actually looked pretty good. And although Connors was clearly the number one there, Trey Benson's now maybe muscling his way into some legitimate work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's very much the case, and I think Benson will get, because Connor, they'll not want to run him into the ground. They'll want him to be a little bit fresh, going into the back end of the season. So yeah, I think Benson will get plenty of work as well. And then
Yeah, no,
finally,
agree.
the defending champions, week 1 against and Baxter We Trust. 108 points, second highest scorers, tucked away by 30 points. Talk to me, Douglas, what happened?
Right. First things first, fair play. You absolutely clearly deserved to win because it was by 30 points. And because it wasn't close, don't feel that bad about it. Do you know, I've looked at some of these other scores in the league and I think, how the hell did they get to like 80 points or whatever else? And then I look at my score and I think, why is it only 78? Because everyone, apart from Njoku, everyone kind of gave me something, but
A -3 defense doesn't help.
the -3 defense, yeah, I'm kind of, I maybe shouldn't. I kind of drafted them a bit hastily, and I don't know what to do about them because I'm not entirely convinced. When it was the Bills and whatever else, and the Ravens on the field will still be a good defense, but I don't know how good a fantasy day they're going to be. So I maybe need to have a wee think about that one. I've already. What did I do earlier? I'm pretty sure I got rid of Bateman for someone earlier, did I not?
You've got rid of Bateman, you've got rid of Shipley.
So I've kind of already started making change. Yeah, I brought in Kayshon Booty. That was what I did, and I brought in Brendan Strange.
You did.
I, ca- I mean, I'm not. I'm a quarterback situation. I want to believe that Trevor Lawrence is going to have a good year with what he's got to throw to. Purdy definitely was to be my QB, albeit I didn't do it week 1 because it was Seattle. It didn't make a difference in the end, but I should have picked him. But he's obviously out now for 2 to 5 weeks, so I'm probably just going to punt Purdy to agency.
I would
Um,
imagine so.
but I think at the same time, I think I need to give Trevor Lawrence week 2 against the Bengals because it's the Bengals and the defense isn't that good, I don't think. So yeah,
100%.
I'm Chase Brown, Tony Pollard, perfectly happy with them. And they got loads of touches, like loads of touches. Neighbours, no problems with him. Clearly, they just need to change their QB quickly. Igbuka was the revelation for my team for the week, and hopefully that continues. And I will probably play Strange rather than Njoku next week, just to see what happens with Njoku. And Dobbins got plenty of carries as well. So, like, my running back's got 34, 50. My running back's got almost 60 touches between them. I can't argue at that. And they just need to do a bit more with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I was shocked at the kind of how did you only get 77 as well? I've got to say, and it was tight back and forward the whole way through the week. As I say, the -3s kind of killed you at the end, and of course, my quarterbacks went a wee bit better than your quarterback. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm happy with the starting lineup. They all went well. Maybe Adams aside, they all went really well, but. I'm worried about my bench. I've got to say, I need these old guys in the starting lineup to keep going for a
Yeah,
few
you do.
weeks
Yeah.
until these rookies on the bench warm up.
You've got Jonathan Taylor covered, which is good. Um,
Yeah, and Giddens showed that he could do it when he comes in.
but yeah, I mean, Pierce, you'll ditch him soon enough. Uh,
I would imagine so.
To be fair, Jalen Higgins, he might take 4 or 5 weeks, but I think there's something there. Torrey
Yeah, me
Hort's
too.
obviously been big on all off season, but second half of the season at best for him, but I think it's probably next year really. Mims will have weeks, but you'll probably never be bold enough to play him unless you really have to.
I mean that's the case, I think Higgins will come good, like you say. I still think Houghton's going to come good, and I'm happy to stick with them and hold on. Mims will have his weeks. It's just a case of when am I going to play him. That's going to be a kind of not fancying Debo that week, something like that. But yeah, but I'll tell you, it's a great start. Second highest score of
Yeah.
the week. Good start to the defence of the title. And next week we've got Johnny's up against Michael there, Le'Veon on a prayer. So can Johnny get his season going? It's going to be a tough one. Michael's missed a regular season, so it'll be a tough one for him. And Rashid Rice won't be making his debut, that's for sure. I'm up against Grote. Again, I'm favourite to win against Grote, but it's going to be a tight one. Grote's team's really good still, It's and I think he'll play Samson this week for sure with no Judkins this week. So good. It's going to be a tight one, there you go. He's got him in already. So he's got a very good starting lineup there, and it's going to be a tight game. So we'll see how that one goes. And then of course you've got Sean. Sean with these two new players. I'm assuming that
factory of
Walker will be starting at
opportunism.
least.
I mean, 90 odd points projected for us both. Anything can happen. It's noticeable across the whole. There's only one matchup where both teams are 1-0. Every other matchup, it's 1-0 versus 0-1. So we could technically have 15 teams in 1-1 at the end of this week.
I mean, in this league, it wouldn't surprise you. Kirkwall Raiders playing against Graham straight out of Hampton, so Aaron Rodgers is making his debut. He's got
they're
Jacobs
both
going
0-1. Sorry, they're both 0-1.
Oh yeah, they're both on one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a big week for both, really. I mean, it's you want to get that one as soon as you possibly can, but just get yourself off the mark. But yeah, he brought in the Giants defense as well, Graham. So he's rolling the dice. He's got Fannin
He's
in
got
there
to
as
make
well.
changes. I mean, first target for Graham's to get above 60 points. I would have thought.
And then Ross is taking his 1-0 boys are back in town to the Blueton Patriots 1-0. So this is one that someone's always got to go. And I mean, it's all about Josh Allen for Ross, in it. If Josh Allen can go and score his 50 points, then he's got a chance. And if not, then you've got to think that Chris will be 2-0 this time next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got Mark against Graham.
So again, this is this is a 1-0 against 0-1, but if week one's getting to go by, Mark's got the sweat on with nearly losing to Ray. But you would think that he's going to get a lot more out of Higgins and Burrow this week.
Probably the Jacksonville D didn't look too bad, but the pressure will be on the Bengals to perform at home. That's for sure.
But yeah, I think you'll get a lot more out of those two this week. Then we've got Joe, and Joe's got the kind of the week off. It's a race to see who's the first one to lose to Ray, in it, because he'll not go. Oh, I think there'll be a win there, and I think the pressure's on you every time you're playing them now. I mean, Baker, CMC, and Puka, like we say, can win any game for him. So the pressure's on when you're playing him, and it's over to Joe this week, who's got Mahomes up against that Philly D. That's not going to be easy for him, but he's got a point to prove against them. So I think he'll come out firing. He's got Cook there. Swift needs to do better this week, because I think they'll lose patience with him very quickly.
Yeah, well, maybe I have a slightly different opinion. I think Swift's got plenty of rope at the minute of the season.
Yeah, I mean the Browns will do him better as well. Surely, you got to think the Browns will do him better this week, and he did win last week. So it's a tough game for Ray again, and you got to think that Joe's hefty favourite there to go 2-0.
Yeah,
Then we've got
definitely.
Aaron's up against Sean this week, so he's actually shown his favourite at the moment, but he's in Porto right now, so I wouldn't imagine he's done much with his team.
How
up
the
to
other
now,
half
yeah.
live.
That's exactly, they never seem to be in the country, but there you go. They went over there for 4 days for his birthday because he turns 30 on Saturday. Happy
Oh,
birthday,
does he?
kiddo.
Ah, happy birthday in advance, Aaron, in case I forget to message you, but 30, eh? Jeez.
Yes. So just remember that, Sean, when you're playing him this week. It's be nice and all that. But yeah, it's he'll be itching to get off the mark in here, and of course Sean at 1-0. Well, I mean, if Sean can go 2-0, and the way he finishes normally, it might just be that he makes it into the playoffs this year. You never know. So yes, that's show me the money for week one. We're 8 teams very happy, 8 teams not so much. The defence of
All
the
to play
title is
for.
up and running.
I'm just having a quick look through we kind of talked about the waivers, and well, we had obviously the trade with Sean, and that's the only trade we've had, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's it. Since Ross got rid of his quarterbacks, that's the only trade that we've had so far. It's very early, usually the trading doesn't kick in until kind of 3 or 4 weeks in this league. So a nice early one to get the juices flowing. But a lot of movement on agency as well. Week one it tends to get busy. But Graham's certainly making his moves. Graham's obviously looked at his 55 points and thought, nope, as you said. So he's been making
you've
his
got, I
moves,
mean,
and
I've been part of it as well, but you see like the week one overreactions, and you get like Chris has picked up Jake Tonges and got rid of Mason Taylor, who's clearly very highly thought of at the Jets. Uh,
yeah,
but he might not play this week. I've dived in on Keishon Booty, who by next week might look absolutely awful. Graham's kind of knee-jerked into Aaron Rodgers, which I'm sure is making him pig sick with what he thinks of him. But
it will be.
Mark's got rid of Bo Nix, who was, obviously drafted reasonably early on in all leagues. So Bo Nix is sitting there for anyone to try and have a wee nibble at. Um, and yeah, that's
It's
Malik Washington.
Graham Farquhar's went with Austin a wee bit later on as well, and then you've jumped back in again and went with Strange. So as you say, there's been some reactions, and there's maybe a couple of players like you say that have hit the agency now that you think, do you know what, I'm going to take a swing with them because I mean even the likes of Mark, if Mixon doesn't come back, Mark's is going to be he might get more and more in Houston. Beck, lads, but Beck was the first one to get a catch after all that. After all the negativity on him, he was the first one to get a catch. And I thought,
I
watch
know,
this, he's going to go
I
for
know.
100 yards here. And that
I
was the
saw
only one
that.
he got the whole game.
You don't fancy picking up Jake Moody out of agency?
I think I'll leave him be for now. That's although I have to say I'm very disappointed we won't see him in the 49ers uniform again because it was getting awfully, awfully amusing.
Yeah, do you like? Right, you might know more about this than me, but you see who we've picked up, Eddie Pinheiro,
Yeah,
and he
it used
right.
to
So
be
I
Bears and stuff such.
uh, genuinely what I heard yesterday, or he on one of the beat podcasts, he's the something like the fourth most accurate kicker in NFL history, and you think, why is he why is he why is he kicking about waivers? Like what's the story? How can you be notionally that accurate and be kicking about the waivers?
He's
But
64 years old.
no, is it no? What age is he?
He's no young, that's for sure. He's been about for a while. I
Hold on,
mean, he
I'm gonna.
must be in his 40s.
He's 29.
He's only 29, is he?
Yeah. So I don't know. He's kind of saying that he didn't want to go into any sort of training camp, kicking contests, etc., etc. But who's he played? So he's Panthers, Jets, Washington, Colts, the Bears, and the Oakland Raiders.
I mean, he
And
missed a lot of the Bears.
so, but he's got an 88% career uh, strike rate, which is the fourth most accurate in NFL history or something like that. It's weird.
He must be getting a lot of short ones then, because I wouldn't be wanting him to be trotting out with the game on the line from 52, that's for sure.
Oh,
But
no,
yeah,
quite.
if he's
And look
inside
at
40, he's accurate enough. But they should all be, it's one job.
well, no, quite. And like Jake Moody goes from the longest kick in Super Bowl history to can't even put a 27-yard chip shot over. It's sport is it's just weird how players' minds just completely go.
I've got to say, I'm happy with my kicker this year. I picked up that Little from
Yeah,
the
I've got him.
Jaguars,
I've
and I
got
mean,
him.
he's been banging them from 70.
Yeah, I mean, the 70 yards. If you're willing to take that on, what a difference you can make to a team. That is doesn't take you much to get into that sort of range. Not that he's going to be doing them every week, but to have a leg like
No, he
that,
won't be,
oof.
but it's good. It's good that he's got that. They will be go. They'll go for it, no problem. From 55, from maybe even 60, it'll not even be a consideration.
Yeah.
And if they're in a tight game and it's 4th and 1, you'd be inclined to maybe go for it there. But they know they've got a kicker that's got the legs. So yeah, I'm happy that I've picked him up. I think he's going to score quite well in fantasy because I think that they'll use him.
I don't blame you for that. I've got Will Lutz. I've just gone for the old thin air kicker for that extra extra yardage in Denver. But yeah,
So,
kicker schmicker.
we're in a rare situation here where I actually want you to win this week because with Sean being 1-0, obviously, and you're taking on Sean, I could do with you winning it and make sure at least at worst I'm tied at 1 and we're all 1-1. So I do wish you luck this week. I hope you go and beat him.
I wish you luck as well as always. My week revolves around your fantasy success or failure. Thoroughly delighted that you had a miserable first week. I need to go and just set up the spreadsheet for our head-to-head this year and put all the points in and just enjoy. I genuinely enjoy going through the leagues when you're getting beat, defeat after defeat, and punching it all in. It actually is
I mean,
pleasurable.
that I tell you what, man, if that's the best you've got, I mean, that is stretching on a Show Me the Money podcast. I'm not, and that's even for you, Mister Baxter. You are reaching down and pulling it up from somewhere. Congratulations! But this podcast ain't about that, my friend. This is about the league that I am defending champion in, and this is about the league that I just handed you a big can of wood pass in. So beep
You
beep.
have you have your little victories. That's fine. You take them. You and I know what the bigger picture is.
Beep, 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 beep. So, anyway, good luck to everyone this week. I hope you all enjoy your Sunday, enjoy your red zone, which, by the way, I didn't even see adverts. Were there adverts on it? Because I
So
didn't notice them.
the chat I read was that the adverts weren't shown in the UK, that they can't show, they're not allowed to show American adverts or something. So I don't know how they
I
did
knew
it,
that they couldn't,
but it
but they
just
managed
yeah,
to do it.
it just didn't happen. So it maybe isn't going to happen for the foreseeable,
Brilliant.
which is happy days.
Love it.
Um,
Yeah, it was 7 hours of commercial-free football for us. So, yes, everyone enjoy it on Sunday, and we'll be back next week to see who's 2-0, who's 0-2, and who's right down in the middle.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much.